All right, guys. So I have about half a speech prepared. I know it's impromptu, but I always like writing a few things down before I come up. All right, so I'm going to talk about the food issue. What is food? Food is, of course, something to sustain us, something to keep us healthy, what people eat to stay alive. But what is food to us, to people? When you go to different countries, you don't get the same food over and over again. And yes, because of geography and all that, but even the way they cook their food, the way they see food, the way they talk about food is different. I'm going to say food, I'm sure a lot of you agree with me on this, is an expression of our culture. Excuse my little voice problems there. It's an expression of our culture. When you go to Japan and you have sushi for the first time, it's going to taste a lot different from if you have sushi do we have a sushi place at 10? I think Osaka's, okay. Yeah. It's going to take a lot different if you have it in Japan compared to if you have it in the USA. And it's not just because they have the skill and all that, but it's also because they see sushi in a different way. They put the time into it in a different way. As I said, my speech is half prepared, so I'm freestyling it right now. But if you come to Africa, you come to Nigeria, and you ask for food, especially in the southwest of Nigeria, because I can't speak for the rest of Nigeria, but the southwest of Nigeria, and you ask people to give you food, there's certain things we won't do and there's certain things we will do. For example, if you come to someone's house and they give you rice, you will not get plain white rice. It just doesn't happen. Once, I was in France, and I was staying with the host family, and I got back late from playing basketball, and they gave me plain white rice, and I was insulted. I went to my room and I was a little bit angry. I was put off. I was like, what kind of people are these giving me plain white rice to eat? You know? But then I thought about it, and in all honesty, they didn't come from my culture, so they didn't see that gesture and say, it wasn't even a gesture to them, they just gave me food. But for me, it was such a big deal. So when you step into someone else's culture, you come to the USA, you go to Spain or South America or the Far East, stop for a second and appreciate what they do. Appreciate the food they give you. Appreciate how they do it. Thank you.
All right. I personally say that a lot of that speech was pretty good. So maybe let's focus on some areas of improvement. What did you guys feel that he could improve on? Osvaldo.
I have like 4 pros and
sure, we can talk about some.
Yeah,
of
we
the
can talk about pros too.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's go ahead and do that then.
Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Going down the pros list, so I have enthusiastic about the topic, interesting subject. He has great hand gestures, and along with that, he had great movement throughout the entire stage. And I feel like you were in control of the audience, and you're capturing it. That's always a plus, in addition to the details you wish.
How would you say was Sonola's body movement? Did he, walk on was considered pacing? What would you say?
I think it was good, but sometimes if you went like from back to side to side, it could be like a little distracting. So maybe not keep it just like from one side to the other, so consistent.
So would you mean like put it to add a y-axis to it?
Yeah, maybe, or like maybe walk a little bit more to one side than to the other. It just seemed like.
It was kind of a pattern.
Yes, it was a pattern. That's it. Yes.
All right.
That's really good feedback. Yeah.
I was actually thinking of doing
Insert
something
some
different
pauses.
before I came up, and I forgot. So I'm sorry.
How was Sonola's eye contact?
I thought it was good.
Nothing else.
Raise your hand if you felt like Sonola or Shosho made eye contact with you. Yeah. You hit everyone. Like, Pratik maybe? Cool. Okay. So yeah, awesome job there. Stellar example for that. Also, your smile and facial expressions, amazing.
How's his volume?
Good. Actually did.
Good? Okay, good.
Everything was really good. Like, it was great speech, but the volume can go a little bit higher. I guess that would make your speech even more better. Even better.
I think we might be able to say that for all of the folks that have come up so far.
Just make sure, it sounds good because when you're saying it in your head, you can hear it, but let's make that extra effort to project it. So let's actually be conscious of that. I think that's a good way to practice it because it's hard in this environment.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So next action steps, I guess, Sonola, is Let's try next time for body movement. Change up that pattern. Let's try to project. Right? Would you say? And let's add one more thing for Shosho. Come on, Fiona, you got something? Hi, what's your name? Okay, let's say area of improvement. Because Shosho does a lot of things good.
Yeah, maybe more projection.
Okay.
What does he have in his hands? Notes.
Is this what Miller calls a fig leaf?
Well, not quite. Fig leaf would be when he actually
I
reaches.
understand what that modified fig leaf is.
It might be at times, but a modified. Okay, you have a fig leaf where you have your hands right here when you're
Okay,
speaking.
okay,
You have a
that's-
modified fig leaf where you're holding onto your hands like this, or you're holding onto something, and you're basically chained to that thing. So
The idea for the hands is you want to use them to your advantage. So Miller says that there's 4 different types. You have your inside, this is subtle gesturing. You can have both hands or just one hand. And you can go dramatic, 2 hands or 1 hand again. So those are the 4 different types, and it's good to do that and not just come to a certain spot. But that's not really what social did.
no, I did want to mention one thing. I think that can actually hinder you when you have it in your hands and you're not using it. So, I mean, it's nitpicky in a way, but if you have that in your hands and you can find a way to get rid of things like that, things that might be personally distracting to you, that can help.
Was I playing with it by any chance?
We could watch the video and see.
Yeah.
I didn't really know.
check.
We're just being super nitpicky because you're an amazing speaker. But yeah, just in general, if you can do without it, do without it.
Yeah.
And if not, just minimize your looking at it. Just kind of look up and then return to what you do normally. Yeah.
But overall, good speech.
Yeah.
Overall, great. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that table.
Oh yeah.
You're always gonna
About
leave the
that.
table. Collins, want me to take over the camera?
No, it's okay.